বঙ্গ বাণিজ্য সম্মেলনের আজ দ্বিতীয় তথা শেষ দিন সমাপ্তি অনুষ্ঠানে মুখ্যমন্ত্রী মমতা বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়। আজ প্রায় 200টি বাণিজ্য চুক্তি হওয়ার কথা। বিনিয়োগ এলে যাতে সরকারি স্তরে শিল্পপতিদের কোনো প্রক্রিয়াগত দীর্ঘসূত্রিতার মধ্যে পড়তে না হয় সেই ব্যাপারে গতকাল আবারও শিল্পমহলকে আশ্বস্ত করেছেন মুখ্যমন্ত্রী। এবং আজ 200টি বিনিয়োগ আসার কথা। আজ সমাপ্তি অনুষ্ঠান এই মুহূর্তে আপনারা দেখছেন চাঁদের হাট একেবারে মঞ্চে। বিশ্ববঙ্গ বাণিজ্য সম্মেলন 2025 আজ দ্বিতীয় তথা শেষ দিন। এই মুহূর্তে আবির আমার সহকর্মী রয়েছেন সরাসরি এখান থেকে। আবির,
দেখো, যে সমাপ্তি অনুষ্ঠানের যে সেশন তা শুরু হতে চলেছে কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যেই রাজ্য সরকারের তরফ থেকে একাধিক মূল স্বাক্ষর করা হবে। ক্ষেত্রে যোগ দিয়েছিল তারা কত শতাংশ বিনিয়োগ করেছে সেই সংক্রান্ত যে তালিকা রাজ্য সরকারের যারা এসেছিলেন তাদের তরফ থেকে তাদের বিনিয়োগের অঙ্ক জানিয়ে দেওয়া হয়েছিল। এবং আজকেও গোটা রাজ্যের বিভিন্ন জায়গাতে একাধিক যে বৈঠক চলছে সেই বৈঠক থেকেও বিভিন্ন ধরনের বিনিয়োগের প্রস্তাবনা রাজ্যের কাছে এসেছে। সেই সংক্রান্ত ঘোষণা কিছুক্ষণের মধ্যে হতে চলেছে।
Point of this amazing event. You all heard Honorable Chief Minister yesterday. The ambassadors. The international session was a huge success. And today you had 16 sectoral meetings. Wonderful. We have a structure suggested by Honorable Chief Minister that all committees be BIS. So there's a principal secretary or additional chief secretary, and co-chair is a person from business. So business drives makes it clear to us, and we move together hand in hand. So therefore, we will start. Mr. Dev is a minister coming up on the dais. Shottam Babu, Vice Chancellor, Chancellor of Universities coming up on the dais. Well, friends, we'll go straight to the co-chairs from the industry who drive this government. May I request Mr. Mehul Mohanka, Managing Director, Tega Industries and co-chair of the manufacturing industries. He has units not only in Bengal as the mother unit, but in South Africa, in Australia, in Chile, making mining machinery and etc. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Chief Minister, Ms. Banerjee, Dr. Mitra, Chief Secretary, Mr. Pant, dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It's an extreme pleasure and an honor to be here speaking in front of you. I represent the co-chair of the manufacturing sector, and before I get into the significant achievements of the sector through this morning, I'd like to highlight a few of the achievements of the manufacturing sector under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister. So MSME sector constitutes the backbone of the state's economy. Over our Honorable Chief Minister's leadership, we've been able to grow that to about 90 lakh vendors, generating about 136 lakh employment in the state. In 23-24 alone, around 81% of our state's GSDP comes from the industry and services sector. State's index, industrial population, proprietary enterprises in India, over 29 lakhs as it stands as of today. Share in integrated manufacturing enterprises. We generate maximum employment with 13.66% in the unincorporated manufacturing sector. And we have today in our state more than 600 clusters. That's over a 13 times growth since 2011, representing 200 CFCs. Unprecedented growth in the bank lending in MSMEs, almost an 18 times growth over 2011. Second largest share in India in production of towels, napkins, dusters, and production of surgical bandages and other materials. West Bengal leads the country in the production of cotton kids wear. 75 government-owned industrial and commercial parks for MSMEs. 40 government-aided private industrial parks under the innovative scheme of the state government. 3 integrated textile parks and dedicated silk parks. a tenfold increase in power loom units in the last few years. Around 1,500 modern shutless power loom units have been set up, producing 13 crore meters of fabric. We are home to the largest foundry park, almost close to 600 acres, and hosiery park, about 125 acres. Largest leather complex at Bantala, about 1,150 acres, and multiple infrastructure projects which have been completed and ongoing. We have the largest garment cluster in Metro Bruce. Nearly 5 lakh people are employed there. Around 6 lakh handicraft artisans, competitive schemes for manufacturing, MSME textile units, artisans and weavers, and GI certified MSME products, almost 20 out of the 28. Madam, this morning we had 3 sessions which were conducted on the broad head of the manufacturing industries, thus MSME in textiles, engineering, plastics and chemicals, and defense manufacturing, which covered all the major sectors in the state. We had a session specifically on MSME and textiles, a session on engineering, plastics and chemicals, and for the first time we attempted to have a session on defense manufacturing, which was very well received. The outcome of these sessions are as follows. A total of 7 MOUs have been signed between MSME Directorate and NSIC, between MSME Directorate and India Post to provide logistics, packaging and shipping, between West Bengal Export Promotion Society and Export Promotion Council for Handicrafts, and between the West Bengal Export Promotion Society and Vodafone for empowering MSMEs on digital literacy, between Bishwa Bangla Marketing Corporation and Mishti Udyog, Bishwa Bangla Marketing Corporation and Ankur Hati Gem and Jewelry, and WSIDC and NSE for procurement of raw materials by WBSIDC in association with NIC. We also have the following investment announcements. Setting up of 7 textile units in Howrah, Hooghly and North 24 Parganas and Nadia. Setting up of 3 industrial parks by Ramnivash Group at Jalpaiguri under the scheme for approved industrial parks, amounting to almost 1,300 crores of investment and potential of 15,500 employees. Expansion of 6 existing textile units, investment of 100 crores in 18 months in SAIP, and 2,000 crores in plastic-based units. I would like to thank in particular Mr. Rajesh Pandey, our Principal Secretary, Ms. Vandana Yadav, our Chief Secretary, and Dr. Mitra, without whose support we wouldn't have been able to conduct these sessions. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mehul. A huge amount of outcomes for people to think about. Now we turn to human capital. Without human capital, industry can't move forward. And yesterday, Honorable Chief Minister's speech, she defined it. I'm delighted to request Mr. Harshvardhan Neotia, Chairman Ambuja Neotia Group, and Co-Chairman of the Education sector with the government.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Dr. Mitra, dignitaries and citizens of Kolkata. I have the privilege to co-chair the Education Subcommittee together with Mr. Vinod Kumar. And I would like to say that the education sector has been decisively taking a leadership role in both private and government to improve the quality of education and the availability of seats. While this has been a work in progress over the last decade or so, as you know that after Honorable Chief Minister took over, she opened up private universities and a special bill was enacted. And I think there are 10 or 11 private universities already operational in the state. And each of them have been steadily increasing their intake of students. So this is providing an alternative to the already very important role that the government universities were undertaking. The conference this morning was focused on 5 different issues. Transformative education, how we should look at the next generation of students, what are the factors that will determine employability, etc. Higher education, how to make it more student-centric. Research and innovation, a renewed focus in this area. Academia-industry synergy. As we all know that we need to now ensure that our students can seamlessly walk into industry and get a job without having to spend time in apprenticeship. But apprenticeship also is an important part of this. And internationalization as to how we can adapt ourselves to what's happening in the rest of the world. Our conference had a stellar panel. We had many Vice Chancellors, Professor Suranjan Das, Professor Chiranjeev Bhattacharya, Dr. Shona Chatterjee, Professor Dhrupajyoti Chattopadhyay, Dr. Asit Das from Reliance as an industry, kind of education industry synergy, Mr. Rakshit Kejriwal from the Philips, and Dr. Yasutomo Nasu from the Okayama University, Japan. I think the deliberations were extremely energetic and lots of ideas have come through. They are being compiled, and I think we'll present a report to the Honorable CM and the government very shortly on the deliberations. I would like to conclude by saying that the education sector is playing a decisive and pivotal role in the growth of economic opportunities in the state, not just within the sector, but because of the human capital that Dr. Mitra alluded to, which will be a major supporting role in the economic development of our state. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was a very useful thing, Harshbhai. Now we turn to a sector very much in line with what was discussed, infrastructure, without which industry will have difficulty flourishing, and Honorable Chief Minister yesterday gave you a lot of material on that. So I'd request Mr. Umesh Chaudhary, Vice Chairman and MD Titagarh Wagons, and Co-Chairman of the infrastructure sector, to give us a snapshot of what you discussed and what were your outcomes. Thank you, Umeshji.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Dr. Amit Mitra, Chief Secretary, dignitaries on the dais, dignitaries of the dais, friends. Firstly, I would like to convey my sincere gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister for giving me the privilege of co-chairing this very important sector, the infrastructure sector, which has been very close to our heart, and we have all seen that in how the city and the state has transformed over the last 14 years. We have seen how the new flyovers, the brightly lit roads, the well-painted pavements and all of that. So that's all a part of the vision of the Honorable Chief Minister, including the Eco Park that we saw 2 days ago. Ma'am, this has been a wonderful BGBS where the infrastructure industry had the opportunity of interacting with the policymakers on one side and with the global leaders on the other side in the same sector. And a lot of development has taken place, a lot of sharing of ideas have taken place, and a lot of concrete proposals have emerged out of the interactions. This morning we had 2 specific sessions where I had the privilege of participating. One was for advanced manufacturing, which is, as I mentioned during the speech, a necessity. It's not advanced manufacturing, but it is the manufacturing necessary for today in order to prosper tomorrow. And the other one was on cost-effective logistics, particularly with respect to waterways and railways. And I personally have had the privilege of seeing how the Honorable Chief Minister in her previous avatar as the Railway Minister had focused on developing the railways in the country. A couple of reports have been finalized and handed over to the government, ma'am, about both these segments, which I'm sure over the next year we will work closely with the functionaries and take them towards implementation. Once again, thank you very much, ma'am, for giving the industry, on behalf of the industry and on my personal behalf, a platform of the nature of the Bengal Business Summit, which has not only encouraged the industry of the state, like ourselves, but also the global industrialists and businessmen who have come to the state and witnessed that Bengal does mean business. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Umeshji. We'll study your report. It will be placed before the Honorable Chief Minister. Thank you. Of course, international trade and logistics is critical to the growth of industry. I have pleasure in inviting Mr. Sanjay Budhia, Managing Director, Pattern International and Co-Chair, to speak on international trade and logistics, and I will request all the co-chairs to tighten their statement because there's lots more to do. Thank you very much, Mr. Budhia. May I request that we all remain a little brief?
Yes, sir.
Because we have a lot of other things. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chief Minister, respected Dr. Mitra, distinguished dignitaries on the dais and in the audience, it is with great pleasure and privilege that I am standing here to update about the various initiatives undertaken by the Export Committee. Madam, my sincere gratitude and thanks for giving me this opportunity to co-chair this. Last year, you very kindly released the export policy and the logistics policy. The vision of the policy is to position our state as a global trading hub by doubling our annual exports from our present rupees 1 lakh crores over the next decade. I must put on record the invaluable guidance of Chief Secretary Dr. Manoj Pant, Sri Alapan Vandopadhyay, and the hard work put in by Madam Vanna Yadav and Sri Rajesh Pandeyji, along with Sri Avkar Singh Meena and Madam Smarki Mahapatro. In shaping various initiatives, MOUs with extensive consultation and inputs from all relevant stakeholders, export promotion councils, industry associations and commodity boards. Madam, this morning we concluded an in-depth sectoral session on international trade, boosting growth through enabling exports, with industry leaders, eminent dignitaries and senior secretaries to identify strategies for driving growth, innovation and sustainability in various industries. It extensively covered the state's export potential by the state government to empower our exporters and enhance their competitiveness. A significant milestone of this session was the inauguration of the Export Clinic, which further reinforces government's commitment for supporting businesses by providing them with the necessary guidance and resources to thrive in international trade. 72 MOU signing between the Food Processing Department marked a crucial step towards strengthening the sector and enhancing its global reach. WBIDC has conducted detailed study of 11 districts to identify products which can be marketed globally. Detailed roadmap has been outlined with district administration to achieve the desired goal of inclusive growth. MSME Department with DNB as knowledge partner has unveiled a report on a strategy for unlocking export potential for MSMEs in West Bengal. This report has made recommendations dwelling on the existing strength and have provided a structured roadmap to unlock Bengal's export potential. Madam, on a personal front, happy to share that we are running 8 units in West Bengal and expanding our operations, currently employing about 3,800 workers, and proud to say that till date we have not lost 1 hour due to strike or lockout due to your strict no-band policy. Finally, Madam, as we move forward under your leadership, we will continue to collaborate, innovate and capitalize on the opportunities ahead to achieve our target. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Budhia. Thank you for a very important statement indeed. Thank you. Now we turn to the sector that's been talked about, tourism. I would request Mr. Rudra Chatterjee, MD of Lakshmi Group and Chairman of OBT Private Limited, Co-Chair Tourism, to make his intervention. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Chief Minister, members of the Government of West Bengal, colleagues in business. I think we should start with the results first. West Bengal has beaten in tourism the much more heralded states like Rajasthan, Kerala, Goa as a much bigger destination of tourism. Today, West Bengal is growing at more than 15% in tourism, and thanks to the great efforts from the department led by Tourism Secretary, Tourism Minister, that we have a serious plan of making West Bengal into, people from Bengal already love traveling, we'll make their wish come true so that West Bengal is number one in tourism. We wanted to focus this year on one aspect of tourism, which is the meetings, conference and exhibitions called MICE Tourism. On 4th, there was a fantastic meeting led by all the leaders from conference industry, from hotel industry, and today there were 7 MOUs signed, including one between us and Park Hotels to have a hotel in Siliguri. And there are 50 conferences scheduled, international conferences and domestic conferences in the coming year. In fact, tourism is today 13% of the state GDP, employing 6% of our people. And one thing we learned, Mr. Sanjeev Puri had mentioned on 4th, that for 1 lakh investment in tourism, you hire 72 people versus 40 people in industry. So almost double the number of employment is created by tourism. But one thing is very important to say, you must see what West Bengal is in tourism. So I request that I will speak through how tourism is developing in West Bengal. Any business depends on demand and supply. We have the supply, but see what the government is doing in developing demand. Firstly, even before the screen starts, you'll see where you are. 3,000 people in Bisho, today's conference center. Everyone who's come today has said that this is the greatest event, greatest conference center anywhere they've visited. So this is the conference center we have here. You've seen the exhibition spaces within this conference center. This is the Dhono Dhanna Auditorium. It's a fantastic event space in Alipur for 2,000 plus people. We've already seen it last year and it's almost 80% occupation. This is the Bisho Bangla Mela Prarangon, which is occupying 15,000 people, lots of global events. West Bengal and Kolkata has had many 5-star hotels, Taj, ITC, but also Siliguri. And thanks to the T-tourism policy, we have more than a dozen hotels coming up. Digha is a location where, a huge conference center has been built. This is it. If you haven't visited, you must go and see it. We had a familiarization trip from ICPB, which is the head of conference and investment and exhibition centers. They came to Kolkata. But we have an ecosystem beyond the hotels. Look at the highways that the Honorable Chief Minister announced yesterday, the freight highways, the railways, the 3 airports, 2 of which, Bagdogra and Durgapur, becoming larger. And of course, the culture of West Bengal. The celebrations, the food, the Sundarbans, the wildlife, the rivers. This is, spend an extra day, come for MICE and spend an extra day to feel part of the state, enjoy from the mountains to the seas and from the religions. We have a new Jagannath Temple being inaugurated in the end of April, which hopefully after your business you can come enjoy. And it's across religions, from Christmas to the temples and the mosques. So the opportunities that are here, we are building, we are creating infrastructure. It's an astonishing opportunity. The government has set up incredible infrastructure in Kolkata. We are hoping for a new big conference center coming up in Siliguri. So, and today's luxury, whether it's textiles or Darjeeling tea, the meetings for global luxury brands will happen here in Kolkata. And that is where, tourism has a huge part to play. And that's why we say Bengal is the sweetest part of our country. Welcome, and please come for your MICE conferences, whether it's hosted by the state or hosted by us as businesses, and enjoy the food and the hospitality of our state. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you, Rudra. It's a remarkable statement indeed in the pictures. Now we go to a very important sector, which is health education and health infrastructure. May I request Mr. Rupak Borua, who's the MD and CEO of Woodland Hospitals and co-chair of this sector, to make his quick, pointed statement today. Mr. Borua.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Chief Minister, Honorable Dr. Amit Dey, Honorable Chief Secretary, all the honorable ministers present in the dais, and all the delegates. At the very outset, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Chief Minister for giving me an opportunity to co-chair the healthcare sector. It's a very important sector in Bengal, along with Chairman Mr. N.S. Nikam, Principal Secretary, Health and Family Welfare. Health always plays a major role. Just in a nutshell, we'd like to give you some background of the healthcare. That is, we have expanded in last 10-12 years. The healthcare sector has expanded from 57,000 beds, which is the most essential matrix of